But there's no ad here. There's no ad here. All there is here is a Terran player in the upper right-hand corner of Eternal Empire. In the blue, representing Triumphant Song Gaming, it is DynaMite. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, the red Protoss player. I'm not sure what BSG is, but representing BSG, it is Hurricane. I'm gonna look it up. Hurricane. What team is Hurricane on at the moment? Brave Star Gaming. Maybe? Yes, Brave Star Gaming. Alright. That makes a lot of sense. BSG, Brave Star Gaming. I can see it. Looks like it's going to be Gate, Nexus. Not too shocked. Probe out here being annoying. But it looks like it's going to be a Reaper Fast Expand out of DynaMite. I imagine these guys play against each other a lot. I would put them at basically the same skill level, to be honest. A very, very similar skill level. DynaMite's definitely been up and coming, and he has some inconsistent results, which I think is pretty typical of up and coming players, where they can punch above their level a bit, but maybe don't take series off people above them. Hurricane, I think, is a little bit more consistently at his level, but this could definitely go either way. I could see this series going either way. Protoss statistically a little favored in this matchup right now, but it's hard to say too where the meta is in Korea, things like that, and the meta between these two, because again, I imagine they hit each other on ladder a lot. You know, they're both active in the Korean scene, and again around the same level. It's going to be a robo opening out of Hurricane. SC2 full is here from my face. Oh my goodness. Wow. Ooh, armory coming up real quick. This is going to be a Thor? It's going to be a Thor build? What is going on? Or maybe an upgrade? Oh, you know what? I'm thinking it's going to be a Widowmine drop. But with drilling claws. It's gotta be, right? Yeah, drilling claws, Widowmine drop. Sorry, I was really confused. I thought it was like Blue Flame Hellions. Then I saw the tech lab. I was like, a Thor? What? No, this makes way more sense. Not something we see a ton, but can definitely be a very effective build. However, Drilling Claw is not going to be done in time for these units to start moving across the map, as we have the Warp Prism coming out. Looks like he wants to put on a little bit of pressure. There's a few Marines coming out, but they don't have any support really. Yeah, as Warp Gate finishes up, a couple more gateways finishing up. Sentry back at home, so this isn't going to be super committed. Just a bit of a drop, couple of Adepts, and a Stalker. It is going to be annoying as bypasses the bunker at the front. And these Marines are very far away from where they need to be. Oh man, there was a Widowmine though. Widowmine goes down, but the War Prism is super low. He's got to be very careful with that. Gets 3 SCV kills though. And Hurricane's up to 44 workers. He's just been pumping out workers. Takes his 3rd base. And has an observer that looks like... Alright, the observer looks to be going a little bit further away. So, it's going to be so close for this drop, though. Drilling Claws does help the Widowmines burrow faster. Alright, gets 4 kills. But again, with the observer... The cloak of that not really mattering all that much. Observer out over here as well, scouting. Hurricane's vision is really, really good right now. And DynaMite doesn't see much. Well, He has a little bit of vision. Is holding this watchtower at the moment. DynaMite grabbing that third base. Gonna go for another drop. That medevac is scattered by this observer. And the stalkers move into place. DynaMite not able to catch a break at the start of this game. Grabbing +1 behind this. Throwing down a couple extra barracks. Getting stim. Just moving into that kind of standard bio play. Oh no. Blink isn't finished, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't even get a Widow Mine shot off. And again, this vision is just so critical. Seeing every single drop. And now like the stalkers can move over to the left side. And now they do have blink. So far 4 probes have gone down. Only 3 SCVs, but a lot of other units have gone down here for not a whole lot. This time DynaMite was paying attention, boosts away his medevac. Will lose a Widow Mine for it, but at least gets that medevac out of there. Oh, gonna grab a Warp Prism. Yeah, he gets it. That's really nice. And let's see what we have behind this. A bunch of gateways, a Robo Bay. +1 just about to finish up. No Warp Prism though is actually pretty critical here if Hurricane was looking to put on some pressure. Not being able to warp in is highly unfortunate. Oh, Stalker's coming up. They're just going to try to get a couple of kills, force a stim. They can run away. No concussive shell just yet, it looks like. Yeah, no concussive shell just yet. No combat shields either, so these stims hurt extra, especially with all the medevacs that have gone down. This drop does want to go somewhere. Well, it looks like this drop is trying to do some damage as well. DynaMite has caught up on workers. That's actually really important. Oh, so these units are so low. A lot of them can't even stim anymore. He really desperately needs a medevac to heal these units. There we go. We have 2 medevacs coming out now. I'm gonna start getting the heals off. Oh, I think that medevac maybe died. But we have one going into the natural. There's cannons here. Cannons don't stop the mines from shooting. And it looks like 2 of them will get picked up and get on out of there. 8 probes going down. Actually giving DynaMite the worker lead for the first time in the game. Behind this though, we have Colossus coming out of Hurricane. Thermal Lance is on the way. Templar Archives coming up. Actually double Colossus production. DynaMite looking like he wants to move out a little bit, but does have to be careful. 2 Colossus here. It's not an army you want to tussle with too much. They'll be able to kill those Marines real quick. Especially with another warp in, or at least just the rejoining of these units here. Adept at the watchtower, gonna try to get out of there. Concussive shell is finished though now. Upgrades are even for the time being. Oh, 10 more workers go down though. That posturing was all just to distract both Hurricane and my terrible observing from what's going on there. But we also have a Zealot run by. 5 SCVs killed, so a little bit tit for tat. Worker count, very similar after all is said and done. These Zealots come back in as more Zealots get warped into the main. Ooh, bunch of units get killed here. And DynaMite's in a terrible spot now. Is down an army supply, which I think with this kind of army composition, you really want to be up an army supply. This army, the Colossus are strong, but the rest of it's a little bit weak. Mainly made up of just stalkers. But forces a lot of lost mining time, kills a bunch of stuff. And meanwhile, Hurricane's taking a 4th base. He's growing, making more workers, getting Storm, warping in High Templar. And is content with the damage he got, and I don't blame him. DynaMite in a tough spot right now. He's down army supply, he's down workers, he's down a base. In fact, I don't even think he has a 4th command center to land anywhere. Ghost Academy coming up now. Should be able to get ghosts out before Storm is fully ready and involved in an engagement. These observers from Hurricane, I know DynaMite has killed a few, but they've just been so clutch. War Prism wants to do the same thing here. However, there are Vikings there, but if the Vikings are there, they're not with this main army. Wait, where are the Colossus? I'm so confused. Colossus got left at home for this. They didn't want any part of this. All right, we've got double War Prism fun happening here. 4 Zealot drop, and then he looks like he wants to try to warp it in the main, but the Vikings are there. So instead, a couple more Zealots gonna run into the third base. Ooh, meanwhile, the Storm's coming up here. No Colossus in this army, though. I think maybe just doesn't want to lose them, but wants to deal some damage. 8, 9, 10 SCVs, 11 SCVs going down. Definitely could have been worse for DynaMite, but that was not ideal. This War Prism is still up here for further potential. Looks like DynaMite wants to move out now. I don't blame him. I think a straight up fight might be his best chance here if he's able to get some good Viking connections on those Colossus. Oh, look at this. He sees where the Colossi are. They're completely unprotected. All right, there's the blink forward. There's not a lot of stalkers here. I think these Vikings can just completely take out all these Colossus. This is what I'm talking about. Where are the EMPs? Storms go down on the Vikings. We do have ghosts in this army, so no War Prism for that. For the High Templar here. So the High Templar are very exposed to EMPs. Big warping going down at this 4th base. Hurricane taking a 5th on the back side of this. If Hurricane can trade nicely here, he'll be in a good spot. Oh, misses the EMP twice. Misses the EMP on that Templar. That Storm, though, kind of whiffing. Do we have any other ghosts here for EMP? There's one more ghost, I think. There's 2 ghosts total. There they are, the 2 ghosts. Ah, but they go off to the side and both of them die, which means free reign of Storms right now. No shockwave upgrade, so the EMP is not really able to get their connections. But the Storms are finding plenty of connections. With no Colossus, it is a little bit harder to clean this up. Ah, but there's 5 Immortals. So as a lot of these Marines start to die and Marauders are left over, the Immortals will just take them out. Another big Storm. No 4th base here for DynaMite. It's really brutal as well. The SCVs come off the line to surround a Archon. That is not ideal. So many workers going down here. Even if he cleans this up, the economy is just ravaged for DynaMite, and he won't even clean it up. Another Warpin goes down. And that, my friends, is going to be game. DynaMite taps out. GG. Hurricane takes game number 1. Just like that. That engagement started out about as well as could be expected for DynaMite. But unfortunately, the EMPs, I think, were the big key there. If he had had the enhanced shockwave, or at the very least just been able to hit a few of those Templar, the Storms just kept pushing him backwards further and further, and he was taking damage from every single one. And it just kind of whittled away at his army. I think after he killed the Colossus, there was definitely a chance for DynaMite to take that fight, and killing all those very expensive units that kind of take a while to build could have been a really good spot. Oh, whew, I got really worried. I was like, we're waiting for a little bit. We're waiting for a little bit. And then I saw DynaMite was in a game, and I was like, oh no. But he invited me. We're all good. No need to worry. No need to fret. So we're going to head into World of Sleepers now for game number 2. And I'm hoping DynaMite can pull it back a little bit. I'd love to see game 3 from these guys. I think that would be awesome. But before we get to game 3, we got to get through game number 2. Where we have spawning in the upper right-hand corner for Brave Star Gaming. It is Hurricane. And in the lower left-hand corner for Triumphant Song Gaming, DynaMite. See if we get any different builds out of these guys. I honestly don't expect it. I feel like we're gonna see a Gateway expand, and we're gonna see a Reaper Fast expand, and I think if any mistakes are to be remedied or anything is to be changed, it'll be later in the game. I don't think DynaMite's gonna go for quick drilling claws this game. I'd be pretty shocked if he did, after it really didn't do much in the last game. He got very few kills for what was a lot of investment. And you know, we really didn't see that many Widow Mines later in the game. I think the Colossus make the Widow Mines a little bit less effective. But kind of interesting. Go for that early drilling clause and then not really make many Widow Mines as the game continues on. But yeah, just all the normal stuff here. All the standard things. Hurricane has had some moments of brilliance in the last couple of years. He's taken some big games off of some big names. So I definitely could see him going pretty far in this bracket. But he's got to make it past DynaMite, which is looking pretty good so far, of 1-0. Oh, this is actually a best of 5. No, this is best of 3. Never mind. I got confused. Ooh, Reaper might get a kill. Look at that, a Reaper gets a kill. That never happens. That probe got greedy. The world of Resident Sleepers. Indeed. How you doing, Last Adele? Reaper looking for another kill, man. He's trying. He's getting chased by this Adept, though. Adepts, they run very slow compared to Reapers. It looks like we're going to have some Hellion play here. DynaMite's plan of attack against Protoss seems to be, I want to do damage to your economy in whatever way possible. Hellion openings, they're a little bit hit or miss. We might see a Hellion drop into the main base. Sentry coming out. A couple of gateways coming up. 3 gateways coming up. Hurricane looks like he might want to put on some pressure of his own. Oh, Hellions might have just avoided that shade. And this is not a full wall. Ooh, I like that recall. Gets those Adepts back home to help handle this. And yeah, really not a whole lot done. Kills 2 probes and a sentry. One of those probes was from the Reaper, though, so not even really 2 probes. Those 2 Hellions killed a sentry and 1 probe. But they didn't see this War Prism moving across the map. And this is going to be a bit of an attack here. I mean, we have 4 gates behind this. So we'll have continued Warpins. Shade's going to come up to meet. Oh, auto turret doesn't quite get thrown down. There it goes. Widowmine gets picked off. And another big warp-in comes in. There's just not enough here. The Hellion opening very weak to this kind of aggression, and DynaMite's in a lot of trouble already in the early stages of this game. There's a ton of Stalkers with the ability to be picked up and microed very well by Hurricane. DynaMite gonna be pulling some workers. Pulling boys against Stalkers with a War Prism is not what you want to do. Zealots get warped in now to counter the boy pull. DynaMite down to 30 workers, and this is looking like it's gonna be GG, a very quick one here. DynaMite desperately holding on, but I don't think he's gonna quite make it. Raven gets picked off. There are some medevacs here, and he's got a few bio units, but he could even focus fire down Stim. Another Warping of Adepts comes in. I hate to be a doomsayer, but definitely GG.